Welcome, everybody. Welcome. How's it going? I gotta check if I'm live. Oh, man. Okay, I can hear myself. Let me know if I am quiet. I have a new audio set up today. Let us go to the Discord. If you are not already a part of this amazing community, be sure to join down below. You can find the link in the About section. So let's make our little announcement. Okay, we have made our announcement. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is part 57 of our compiler. And in fact, it is part 57, isn't it? So we might as well pop that in there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Alrighty, I'm just hoping that everybody can hear me because I have a new audio set up today. I believe I heard myself, but I still doubt. I have many doubts. We'll see how it goes. Sir, says I can hear you. Legendary. If I sound awful, let me know. I can try and fix it. Or if I'm quiet, etc. Anyway. This is part 57. I think we should just get right into it. Indecent Lenser streaming pog. Yes. Sorry, it says that's a weird lambda, though. Oh, don't worry. We already welcomed everybody. We have been welcomed. We are welcoming. And this is part 57 of the compiler, so I figured it'd be fun to do something like that. It is a weird lambda, you're right. And if the funny part is that in Lisp interaction mode, there's quotes in here. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. I think we are ready to actually begin part 57. If you don't know, there's a large thing going on right now with the compiler. There's a PR happening that's quite extensive. There's 292 commits in it. It's nearing 300, so it may be a good time to wrap it up, you know? Maybe a good time. So let's go ahead and do that, huh? In this PR is lots of stuff like instruction selection, a small bit emitting object files, and more. Lots of more. Like having to rewrite all of register allocation, or at least all of the interference checking, which is the horrifying code part of register allocation. So it says merge time. That's right, it is merge time. Lots has happened. Basically, let's go over some stuff. I feel like we should just run, let's see what happens. Let's run the testing suite at this point. Okay, we have lots of tests running. And one thing you'll notice is that there are now prefixes, assembly, or object, because we are running each test, or you can choose to run each test more than one time by using these prefixes, and that determines the different targets that will be targeted, the different types. So if you're on Linux, it'll be ELF object files, and if you're on Windows, it'll be COFF object files. I love how it's not clearing the line properly. Yeah, /R just goes to the beginning of the line. And on Unix, /R goes to the beginning of the line and clears it, I'm pretty sure. At least that's how I understand it. Because they seem to be just going and trying to reprint it. So it says, no, it doesn't clear anything. Then maybe it's just using /R as a to reset it on Windows, but on Linux it actually uses the proper terminal escape codes because it might be running in CMD on Windows, so it just assumes that, which is why there's also no colors in the C-test output. That would make sense, even though the terminal is totally support. totally supports colors, right? But yeah, as you can see, there are now many object files that are failing and only a few assembly. In fact, if we run just the assembly, you may recognize the results because we've seen them before. So it says Windows moment. Look at that. 96% tests passed. So with instruction selection, with this huge PR and changes, everything's different. And just to take a look at how things are different, here's the instruction selection file, which is an entire new language, a domain-specific language that is just basically used by the compiler to actually do this. I also fixed up the algol testing suite, so it works now. You do have to make, it works with one caveat. You have to copy a path, because here's the thing. I think the idea would be that of all the like mature backends, we should have the build system take this whole thing and just make it a string within the compiler. And then instead of reading a file, we just access this string. Hashtag embed gober. Exactly, but we don't have hashtag embed yet. So basically we're gonna have to like, I think, hack our own hashtag embed or something like that as part of the build system. So yet another build tool. But basically that would allow us to have all the mature backends just kind of not need to have these instruction selection files installed or like known paths. And all we'd have to do is good luck with that. Done that. It's horrible. All we need to do is get this into the compiler somehow. But you're right. Obviously, we would use the built-in embed if we can. Anyway, as you can see, this is quite different from the switch case dealio we had before. It's much better. And yeah, hopefully it's actually good. Oh man. I'm pretty sure Nani, Robobobato, Super Hostile, David HXS, Mosquito, Soccer G, and Mega Legger. Thank you so much for following in between streams. I appreciate it. Okay, anyway, this is now how the backends work. And you basically generate this machine IR stuff, this generic machine IR, from the IR, and then that gets lowered through instruction selection and a few times in code through into lowered MIR, and then lowered MIR actually, you know, gets registers allocated, might be finalized even further, and have peephole optimizations applied, and then we emit the code in one of these target files. As you can see down here, all of these target files, we have generic object and assembly. Generic object is my own creation. It's just a generic object file format that can be translated into ELF or COF. The only portable way is to use something like XDD to generate C code from the file and then compile that. Well, the idea is that we'd write a C program that would read the instruction selection files, like hard-coded, because when you're building the program, you absolutely know that you're in the dev repository and you have access to the instruction selection file. It's only in the built executable that we don't want that to happen. So basically, we just write a program that goes in and finds like, dun, dun, replace me, right? Or like some syntax that's a comment. And then it goes in and replaces this with actual code. And then we'd just do like string blah equals something like that. Very readable code for mobile viewers. Are you saying I need to make it bigger? I'm sitting way closer to my screen now because my microphone's no longer in the way. So that may be a big difference that I forget. But you know what I mean? Something like string blah equals this, and then we just go through and find this syntax and replace it with an actual literal string. Yeah, that's more or less exactly what XXD does. Legendary. But yeah, just to keep no external dependencies and completely portable, we'll just use libc and write a little program. XXD, not XDD. I always get that wrong. I mean, I would expect someone to have 4 eyes before they have 2 chins, 2 tongues, 2 mouths. Same with LDD and LLD. To me, LDD sounds like a new type of storage device. Like we've had HDD, we've had SSD, now it's LDD. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? We should probably do something. So if you're curious about the overall structure of the compiler, after this stream, go check out the last one because we went over the entire structure, the new structure of the compiler and how it works. I think I should just start working on stuff that I need to do. Don't forget about Annotate Code option. So before this, we just put IR in the actual assembly. So like in the assembly, we would put in like actually, for example, I was testing out putting the actual unmangled function name in the assembly. That may be something I do all the time, whether or not we annotate the code. So it's the main problem with the latter is that LDD and LLD both exist, lol. See, the solution is to not use either of them. Also, this is bothering me. This is not consistent. Local labels like .l0, .l1, .l anything, they're always usually indented in GCC. They're like this. And I kind of want to make local labels indented like that. It's a small thing, but I may want to do that. I should focus on the actual things to do, though. Indecent Lab says Porth-like annotations. Sure, yeah. But what I actually want Annotate Code to do would be to put the source code above each bit of assembly that it got assembled to. And to do that, I think that we're going to have to keep track of like, because we already keep track. Oh, geez. We already keep track of like the IR instruction that an MIR instruction originated from. So it says, I typically don't indent local labels. That's true. So it says, okay, about that. That doesn't work too well and leads to a lot of clutter in my experience. I've done that in source and it was just a horrible mess. Yes, but this is required. This part, right? That's required because when you're generating MIR and you reference an IR instruction from another IR instruction, that IR instruction needs to keep track of the MIR instruction that created it. And if you're going to do that, you might as well keep the other way too, because we have more information in the IR than in the MIR. So ideally we shouldn't need it, but it is there. It is needed just as an implementation detail. Which means that if the IR contains source locations, right, then we can just know the source location of every MIR, as long as we update the IR to contain source locations. And once we update the IR to contain source locations, then we're basically at a good place to also emit debug info and stuff like that. Because I think it's smart to at least say like a function starts here and ends here, and I don't know. We'll think about it. That's not what we're going to do today, but that is something I wanted to do. Let's check out what we got. Propagate source, yeah, that's what I was just talking about too. I should just move this up here and say, see, it's the same thing. Coolio. Okay. Let's find out where we are. What do we got? Okay. Sys5 memory stack arguments refactored to take note. By the way, I'm just making sure there's nothing to do before I merge. I see you made a note about what we discussed earlier about macros. Oh, I made a very extensive note. A very extensive note. If you have any ideas on variadic arguments, that's what this is. Let me know. We got a question from Mumi Jamala. Which language are you compiling? My very own made-up language called Intercept now. And there's plenty of examples if you want to take a look. Let's take a look at like greatest common denominator. Here's the greatest common denominator. I'm pretty sure there's a small bug right now, so this has to go down here, but this is that. Indecision Lab says, okay, I'll watch the VOD in the morning. I'm going to bed. It's like 11:30 in my time. RIP. Okay, good night, Indecision Labs. Sleep good. The VOD will be available for you. We'll have tons of fun in your honor. And if you want to see the compiler do the compiler thing, we should be able to do this. We may have to switch it to the assembly backend. Yeah, we do. Because I haven't implemented subtraction, it seems. That's probably an instruction selection bug, so that may be something to go add to the .icel file, which would be sub. Anyway, none of that's needed to be done. I was just showing you this thing. Taxborn says, good afternoon. What's up, Taxborn? Good to see you from the Discord. Valbus says, no comma between arguments, Decal? You don't, it's not required. Totally optional. You can put one there if you want. You can also put new lines there or like comments. That's not a comment. This is a comment. This is also a valid declaration. I don't know why you would write it this way, but I would see some sense in writing it this way. B is blah, blah, blah. A is meant to be blah. Right? I don't think this is insane. The automatic indenting even does it perfect. Franco Mojado, you should check out the Discord. Join this wonderful group of people. And in fact, if you scroll up in the general, we just had this discussion like a day ago. I know it's kind of a bit, but if you just pass up everything we talked about today, basically, we talked about, let me find it. UTF-8. Local had some great ones. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Here. So basically, ooh, that got unpleasant. Basically, make a program that reads a sequence of UTF-8 encoded bytes and reconstructs the code points they encode. Electron moment. Yeah. I'll get rid of, okay. There we go. A little bit bigger. So Franco Mojado, if you're looking for a starting program, try this. Decode UTF-8. It's very easy, I promise. It is still complicated and it's hard, but it's a simple problem. I shouldn't say easy, it's simple. Because if you just go to UTF-8, they have the entire encoding in a small table here. This is it. This is all you need. And then you just need to figure out how to do this in C. How do you take bytes and get this? Taxborn says super fun to do. We had Taxborn and King Buns both do it. It was pretty legendary. And now you, hopefully, Franco Mojado, we'd love to see your program. And it spit out code points, just like King Buns. Where is he? Somewhere. Jump to present. The moving scroll bar really gets me. I'm like, I'm so close to the bottom. What's going on? Whoa. I'll find it. Don't worry. Maybe it was in code review too. That's also a possibility. I talked a lot about optimization. Franco Mojado says, thank you, joining your Discord right now. Legendary. What's up, Spoon? But yeah, try that. I think we should just merge this bad boy. We're in a really good spot right now. We have a new target, 2 new targets for 2 new types of object file, elf and cough, and running the C test on them. Even with the new one, we're still at like 80 something percent out of 194 tests in 2 different targets. So this is pretty good. Our machine code backend is reaching near levels of actual success. Perfect. Yeah, 85%. Only 29 out of 194 fail. 4 of those are assembly ones. So we have 25 failing object file tests. Not really a big deal. 21 of those are unexpected, whereas 4 also fail in the assembly, so I'd assume they fail in the object as well. Coolness. But yeah, we are moving forward. We're moving on up. So this is good. This is good. And most of the time we should probably just test the assembly unless we're working on the object file backends. Hey, Volbus. What a good name, Volbus. What's up? Thanks for joining the Discord. By the way, do I sound okay? Am I loud enough? I just want to make sure I'm not screwing up my audio. I don't Tay-Zonday it. That would really be unfortunate. Oh yeah, this is GCD Euclid, and we can compile that. I forgot what I was doing entirely. Okay, we can't compile it because we don't handle subtraction in the instruction selection, but that's fine. We're not doing that right now. That'll be a good last commit. That'll be a good last commit because I presume it'll just quote unquote just work. Yeah, we have all these subs, but not a single one for register to register. So we want to move, we should probably do the sub then the move. And we just want to sub in this direction and then move left-hand side into I1. So we want to take this number, subtract this number from it. The result will then be in here, so we move that then into the result of the 3 address. Okay, yes. And then hopefully this will just be eliminated by peephole register to register moves. Look at us. Make this a little bigger. Hey, poggers. So now you can see the greatest common denominator of 88 and 32 is 8. And if we go to 80, oh, didn't go far enough. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sure. Hey, 16. So now this works. GCD works. That'll be a good last commit. Sarade says audio is normal, I'd say. That is the biggest compliment as an audio engineer I have ever gotten, because I am using entirely different equipment. Taxborn says sound great. Legendary. That's so awesome. I'm really glad. Valbus says, so for now you generate assembly and let a separate compiler to the assembly to executable. The compiler can emit assembly or object files, but linking is done using the system linker because linking is a platform-dependent mess. Exactly. Sora said it very eloquently. Are you a C++ audio engineer? No. Sadly, I would love to be. That sounds fun. I am a hobbyist audio engineer. I like recording things. And I like setting up like audio. No. It's just fun. I like all the equipment. And now I have like a microphone that doesn't take up my entire desk. Because before I had like a stack of books to separate the vibrations for the microphone when I like type on my keyboard, it would go in the microphone. So I had to like put it on books to separate the vibration. So I just had like a giant stack of books on my desk right in between my split keyboard. And that was really a hamper in things. And when I didn't have a split keyboard, it was even a bigger hamper because I had to reach past the books. It's a mess. It's all a mess. Don't worry about it. But I enjoy it. This is x8664 iCell. We're going to make this git commit with, what are we doing? Sub in reg to reg form. Beautiful stuff. I have so many little changes. Okay. Oh, that's probably an important one. Hold on, what is this? Oh yeah, that might be pretty important. So we're currently argv is a pointer to an integer, which is a little odd. What did I screw up here? Argv is currently a pointer to an integer, or pointer to a pointer to an integer, I should say. So that's kind of bad. It should probably be a pointer to byte. That way we can actually get the strings out of it. That's funny. We don't use it anytime, which is, I'm happy that we haven't used argc or argv yet, but we are going to have to get into that at some point. Make a little standard command line arg parser. But yeah, we'll commit that as well. And we're just going to say argv is now a pointer to byte, not pointer to integer. Jeez, okay. Oh yeah, I marked all this up. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Check again, run git status. Okay, now we just change this. This is just the order of the includes, doesn't matter, I can keep that. And this is deleting a file. Oh, because, yeah. Sure. We'll delete the file when we fail. In the C++ test driver. Delete possibly created file upon failure. Cool. We'll push those. Watch them pop in here. Beautiful. And we should still be good. We now have many commits and many lines. This PR is 11,695 lines. That's what it ended up being. The amount of commits keeps bugging out and only showing 250, even though there's more than that. Yeah, there it goes, 295. Oh, that's funny. This pull request is big with an exclamation mark. I'm getting warned by GitHub. Dude, calm down. Nashiora says, Hi, what going on? I sent my first chat of the stream and my toes started hurting. What have you done, Lance? So the voodoo doll is working then. Ooh, nice. Let me get my needles back out of there. Yoink. It'll be better now, don't worry. Mez Yusuf 32, thank you so much for the follow. Not sure, you're not gonna believe this. What's up, local? Tell me. But the pain went away as soon as you said you removed the needles. I wasn't joking. You think this is a game? I shit you not. funniest thing I've ever seen. He turned himself into a pickle. I'm such an idiot. Oh my god. Just picturing that Anakin meme. I have problems. That's because he did. Duh. The voodoo streamer. I get voodoo dolls of all my viewers, and then I just test out different things each day. Like, I'm gonna put you I'm gonna submerge your voodoo doll in soda today to burn your skin. Execute commands on other people. No, you command other people to execute. Wait, what is it? Taxborn, no, please. Voodoo OS. Now Shiora says, oh no. Oh yes. This pull request is big, guys. That's really funny. It's even slow. It's really slow to open this page. Oh, it's so good. Big change. Approved. Yes, this empty line. Biggest change of the 11,000. I think we're ready. I'm procrastinating because I'm nervous. But we're ready to rebase and merge, I believe. I have some sort of DM. I'm going to look at this. What has happened? I see. I see. Okay, I'll look at that later. I'll look at that later. I guess, is there a way to mark things as unread in Discord? Oh, there is. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. Legendary. And we're back. Be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. Check out the About section. Do it. Launch the nukes. Dun dun. I got 25 kills in a row, guys. I had to. Oh, that's so much. That's so much. Oh, I'm scared. I really am scared. Oh no, no, no. Okay, I'm gonna stash everything and say save my changes, please. Pog. Yee, yee. So it says I don't have to look at that email anymore, thanks. Oh, I feel so bad. It's so many emails. There's 292 emails. You can finally get rid of it. By the way, was it super loud there when I just knocked my desk on accident? I'm curious. I have a new shock mount system. Nashiora says no loud. No. Oh my god, that's legendary. The entire mic was swinging back and forth by like multiple inches. But apparently I've got it set up pretty good. I'm really proud. I'm happy. I was picturing that today was going to be a Taizon day, where it's like I'm going to try and stream, and then 8 minutes in I'm going to have to stop because of the audio has gone so bad and I don't know how to fix it. These are the things that keep me up at night, guys. Okay, well, we've merged, so I guess we just check out main again. It's been a while. And we're in main. There is one unpulled from main. That's going to change as soon as we fetch all our remotes. That was a good chat message. That's going to stick with me. That's going to keep me up at night. I'm just going to be laughing at that. Uh, I also love that addition is the misspelling. It's an addition. It's like you're adding something to them. I like how Maggot has now given up as well. Oh, I'm adding to them all right. Oh no. No, no, no. 50 cc's of my essence. I don't know if I should have read that, but oh my god. I'm gonna need another gone wrong, gone sexual title. Ugh. So now we should pull our and merge our 256 plus. Yeah, we'll go ahead and fast forward only all those bad boys from Origin Main. Hey, it worked. Hey, no problemos. We can now delete this branch pretty safely. Legendary. I now want to do this thing again, not that thing again. It's going to be fine though. It's a good test. Yep, I discarded my changes. The real test. Yeet! Also, Lens, I'd recommend using a terminal. For what? For Git? Sorry, it says, I will say it took me a moment to get that one, Lamau. I'm glad. That voodoo doll put me in a good mood, man. What the hell? For pulling 296 commits. Yes, for Git. I like it. I like the tone of that. Because it is ridiculous that I'm using Maggot to do that. Ugh. It did work, though. Feel free to go for it, Nashiora. Feel free to go for it. It's a song. It's good. It's allowed. Where am I at? This has been merged. It's done. We did it. We can, can't we close one of these? We can close one of these. We can close this. Number 66 has closed. Main now behaves as GCC does, and LLVM's Clang, presumably. So we are good to go with closing this bad boy. Sorry, it says close it. Do it. Kill him. I'm just waiting for the lightning to come out of your hands, Raid. That's the only thing that's missing. The name of the song band is the thing I'm worried about. Local, you worry me. Maybe I should be worried. Maybe I should be worried. You're right. You're right. I think I fixed this as well. Hold on, did I fix this? Do we have a minimum viable example? Which one is it? The SDL example. I don't know if that works anymore. I haven't tested that. Yeah, I did fix this. I did fix this. I can look. I don't know why I'm like trying to remember. I have the source code. It's literally accessible. This would be in the femit family. And when we're emitting, yeah. What is this subtraction? Subtract immediate into memory. That's exactly what this encoding is. I've fixed this. I've fixed it in a very bare bones way, but I have fixed this. Sorry, it says sorry, but my keyboard wouldn't like that. Lightning hands. So what if your member was decaying? But you were still in a mood to use it, right? That's where the joke went. I didn't realize what I was reading when I said member. I thought you were talking about like a struct member. Local. Lamau. So that's where the name came from. Ah, yes. We were talking about taking funk and going back to metal, so an edgy name was a requirement. Of course, of course. Any band has to have a crazy name. But yeah, look at this nonsense. This is pretty interesting. We just add a suffix or a memory size prefix. Now, kind of a mess, but I guess it's fine. I just panicked because I don't know which way to turn now to be the quietest on this microphone. If I want something not to be picked up, like if I have to cough. I was like, do I clear my throat to the left? Do I do it to the right? Do I look up? I had to think about it. Oh, truly a Tay Day moment. I move away from the mic to breathe. I bought a pitch shift pedal for my guitar. Oh, that's sweet. So I can do an octave lower before my distortion is applied. Oh. Nice, clean, really low guitar parts. Yeah, octave doublers are super sweet. They can make things sound incredible. It's awesome. Chocolate rain. I can't even do his voice. He has a glorious voice. It's a good song too. Hear me out. Should I do a cover? The Lenzer Chocolate Rain cover. Oh god. What if I put this on hold and do a rock metal cover of Chocolate Rain? Yes. Yes. We know it. We know it. It's worth it. What if we did a cover? Even better. That's right. That's right. Okay, so I believe this should be fixed. I'm just gonna say this has been minorly touched on by 66. That thing. Nashiora says that's a good shout. I should try that. I didn't have I didn't have the pedal in a mode to octave double. Ooh, yes. So most of the time octave doubling goes upwards, but it depends. It depends on the pedal. This has been minorly touched on by 66, and I believe is entirely not an issue anymore. I'm gonna comment that. I can't test. Here, I guess I have to do this. Don't try and type in Discord. That won't help. What was I just talking about? The SDL example. Let's try that. I don't think I've tried that in a bit. It may not work. Discarding return value of a function that does not return void. Okay, I've changed some things. It was complaining about puts. Well, it's discardable now. Cool. Okay, it looks to be compiling. Unlowered instruction, shift left, register immediate. That's more iCell stuff. Yep, I didn't handle register to immediate, so that would be why. And it doesn't really change anything. It's just that. Cool. Is that shift left? Yeah, it's shift left. Now I've got the wet at 75%, dry at 50. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to have to record and share this sound with the octave double down. Sounds sick. Awesome. Yeah, send it. Implement assembly emission from opcode 1073, or. We don't handle or assembly emission? That's kind of embarrassing. Oh, I forgot I fixed my desk. Oh, that's so nice. I have so much more room on my mouse. That's incredible. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. Totally got distracted. What was I just doing? Or. How do we not omit or? What am I, a chump? I am a chump. Look at this. Okay. What is or? Is or commutative? Let's look at how or is encoded, because generally you can see the pattern. Oh, this will be a good example, a good teaching moment. So if we look at, for example, idiv, can we find idiv? We may be able to find idiv in a million years. You would think that there would be some sort of, here it is. Okay, if you look at idiv, there's something you might not expect, which is that, let's take a look at what I want to show you. idiv and the not instruction in x86-64 are the same opcode. Isn't that a little weird? idiv and not. So I want to take a look and see if this, and if you take a look here, you see idiv. And then if we take a look at not, what is this thing? Give me that. Beautiful. If we look at not, you can see it's literally exactly the same as the one we just saw above as idiv. Oh, it's taken its sweet old time with that one. It won't take me to them. I've broken it. It should be around here. No, here. Somewhere. It is around here, because this would be fidiv. Anywho, not important. I was looking at something else. Or. What does or look like? I'm just going to look for it over here, because A through L, it's not going to be in here. Elemental P. M, N, O. P. Okay, P came fast. Don't quote me on that one. There should be a logical or. Okay, logical inclusive or. Oh man. Ooh. Okay. Another weird one. P came fast. Damn it. You can use the table of contents on the left to navigate. I can, but I'm too stubborn to sometimes. As you can see, or I recognize this encoding pattern. You want to take a look at which one it matches with? It's very close. Where are we at? Come on. Where are we at? Oh, there's so many. Boink. Yeah. Look at this. We have, that's OX8B, OX88. Isn't there an OX80? What am I thinking of? What's OX80? Maybe that's Leah. Let's take a look. I can probably look here easier because I already have OX80. Ah, yes, naturally it's all of these. Cool. So what extension do we have for or then? Oh, geez. We have Rex OX80 /1. Ooh, /1. Cool. That is, we can add it to here. Awesome. Let's pop this bad boy in here. And just have to do this. We say sub and, oh, compare sub and, so we should do or add. Okay, and what I'm doing here is this is the code that emits machine code for x86-64. And as you can see, or actually shares the same encoding as add, compare, and sub. It just has a different extension, opcode extension, which is encoded in the register field of the mod RM byte. Makes sense that all of these are more or less the same, seeing as they're all ALU operations, and they all take pretty much the same operands. That's true. But yeah, so it's literally just these bits that change it, and it's 1 for OR. Cool. And then all of these get encoded with the same opcode in the same kind of way. Immediate to register encoded. We should probably also handle a register to register or if we really are being serious. And IML. I guess we need to do that too. That's a big deal. We already have move ZX and move SX, so that's good. And move. So yeah, or would be a good thing to do here. And we can probably, yeah, no, these are different. We don't have anything like that. We just have its own encodings, its own opcodes. Cool. Coolio, coolio, coolio. So what have I done? I also need to go to assembly and handle OR properly because OR is actually just like all those other ones we discovered. In an assembly backend, we don't even have to do like any machine code stuff. We can just say, hey, it's like these. And or add. Where's sub? Why is sub different? Am I an idiot? I don't think sub needs to be encoded differently, does it? Immediate to register. I'm pretty sure it's going to be identical. I think I'm just tripping. I don't know why I would do this. It even says add. Well, it's a work in progress, clearly. Let's just see if I can do this. Immediate to mem that way. Yeah. And then I'll just, yeah. Because this encoding should work for add, as it does for sub. What have I done? Okay. And then we just don't need this. And got to make sure to change the sub to instruction opcode. There we go. Way less code duplication. That's nice. Did I break anything or everything? Well, we've omitted code. It's a little scary how long it took just to print things out because we're on Windows, but you know. That doesn't seem too bad. It seems none of this looks like insanity. This looks a little like insanity, but it's fine. We're just saving caller saved registers here. Yeah. Let's try. Oh yeah, I have to do the old. Oh, it's not even in the history anymore. I have to do it myself. How evil. Oh man. That's not in stream, it's in C, isn't it? Which one is it? SDL2 2022. That would be the one. Please just tell me there's a lib. Oh god. Okay. Oh, it's x8664. Yeah. Yep, this one. Now here's the lib, and now, dear God, please let one of these work. It didn't work at all. This sounds dope, recorded and processed. Holy shit. Thank you for reminding me of this. Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad it sounds awesome. I'm excited to hear it. What did I screw up? Did I pass it? Oh. I'm pretty silly. Cannot find. Is this some backslash nonsense? Okay, no. What do you mean it can't find it? I used autocomplete. What could have possibly went wrong? Oh, -O. I don't know why it's being weird. I should just be able to do this too, shouldn't I? Ah, no, it won't know. Now sure it says off topic for guitar. I don't have headphones in, so it'd play double. And I don't have a mute button on this microphone yet. But I will listen to it, I promise. I'm curious. And everyone watching right now, if you want to listen, you should join the Discord of this amazing community of people. You should come check out and listen to this awesome guitar. Do it. I'm gonna mark on red so I'd make sure to see it. Anyways, I'm not gonna worry about this. Presumably, we're assembling the code because it's properly. Yeah, this is good. This is a different error than we had before. Yeah. I think we can close this issue. This one. Because clang code.s, for you're not specifying SDL here, but it's just automatically still saying, hey, we can't compile this. But I believe I've fixed it because the code, we take a look, now produces, oh god, not at the string literals. Don't look at the string literals. Don't worry about that. Also, we should put these in row data, most likely. Something to think about. What are we looking for? Okay, it's not doing it, which is pretty funny. You would think there'd be, oh, here it is, yeah. Okay, the reason it's not doing it here is because the register, this is what I mean when I said it only did it minimally. So when we are subtracting from memory, it'll output, hey, we want to subtract from the 8 bytes of memory with Q. Coolio. So we're doing it now, it works. I'm guessing this is even like the same line. Yeah, basically. Very cool. So we've fixed this. Clang code.s now spits out a bunch of unresolved symbols, a la linker errors. This means that it is successfully assembling and has been fixed somewhere by 66. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay, we've done it. We have done it. We closed 2 issues. That's beautiful. Anyone need some tissues? Okay, what are we doing? To do. Don't get distracted. I'm getting distracted. Yes. Virtual register renaming pass. That would be a really good one. That would be a really good one, I think. A virtual register renaming pass. We could try it. We could try it. So basically, let's take a look at some RA output, just so we don't knock our socks off. Give me something like, do I want the greatest common denominator? Again, I didn't. Oh, one thing I didn't do is, remember I saved my changes and then just didn't get them back? That's probably something to do. Let's think about this. Okay. Omission of immediate to mem or and generic object. Another thing we have to do is actually handle or this thing in the same way we did in the assembly, where we just find the add and add the or. Coolio. And again, we're going to do the same thing in the machine code that we did to the assembly. These should probably be the same code. Like the code that actually does this should be an x86-64 thing, where it just says, hey, pass me a bunch of function pointers for these different, how to emit these different functions, and then we'll just do it. But we're getting there, Because all that will require is like 20 different function signatures. And then with those 20 functions implemented, you can implement any x86-64 backend, presumably. Because this is quite literally identical to the assembly stuff. Okay, then we have to do the same thing. Instruction opcode. Again, I didn't go and fix the example because that's fine. I'm just going to the git. And what did we do? We removed fall through. And we put or somewhere else and we removed sub. Perfect. We didn't add sub. So we're nearly there. Sub. Okay. Yes. So it says, by the way, is the next new feature going to be macros then? I'm thinking so. It's either going to be macros or I want to get like the actual usability of the function of the usability of the language way better. So I want to get like kind of quality of life stuff if I'm not going to do a huge feature next. Okay, then we can also add or in assembly. Beautiful stuff. x86-64. We did or in, yeah, we just did or. I'll give it a little party. Woohoo, or. And we reduced code duplication, so that's always good. But yeah, the next new feature is probably going to be, that's like the next big feature is macros or modules if I really feel that. Ooh, Matzo304, pick 9117, and ooh, command line argument and curse splat. Thank you all so much for the follows. That's incredible. I really appreciate it. That includes you. C-style macros or something a little different. Something different. We talked about it extensively in the Discord earlier. We had a long discussion on macros at some point. And yeah, you can check out the discussion on Discord, link in the About section. Also in the About section is a donate link. Feel free to click that if you're feeling ever so generous. I'll shout you out if you leave a message. And make sure to leave your username in the message so I know who it is and who to shout out, because I don't want to say anyone's real name. So it says a little different is one way of putting it. Yeah. Basically, here's the idea. It's going to look something like this. So for a C-style macro that looks like this, our style of macro would look like this. And it's slightly different. That includes you says, oh, look at that then. Legendary. It's slightly different in that instead of hashtag define, we have a macro keyword. And then past that, the first thing has to be an identifier, but then anything past that is like, can be any tokens. So you could have like left, paren, right? And then to call this vector macro, you'd have to do left, and then whatever else is here. And another thing that's here is you can match on like the types of token, and there's also a token that represents AST nodes, which is a little complicated, but don't worry about it. So you could pass in an identifier for like my int vector, right? If you wanted to do my int vector as the name of the type, because we don't have anonymous structs yet, and then you could pass in whatever type you want for the element of the vector. So let's say a byte. This would be or integer, right? So that's an integer vector, and then it requires a closing paren, so you could do that. But you could also have it require a closing bracket or square brace, and then just have that be your macro. And then if this identifier pops up when we're lexing, then we just have to match these following tokens. In which case, if they don't match, we can emit an error, or if the type doesn't match, or what have you. And then this will just be replaced with this code. But then this code, for example, $name and $t, these are all placeholder syntaxes, but it's close. Basically, $t would take t, whatever we passed in here, and just replace that there. Similar to how when we pass type, we can just put type here and it puts it there. And this would make a pointer to the type that you pass in called data. So in this case, it would emit. We can do that too. It would spit out $name, which is going to be my int vector, and then $t integer. And then you'd have an int vector definition. How about that? But yeah, that's the style of macro we're going for. Heavily, basically stolen from Suraid. Suraid, I did not come up with this. Suraid came up with this. My idea was to have two different kinds of macros like Rust, and have one be lexical macros and another be syntactical macros on the AST. And one is like pattern matching on a flat list, and another is pattern matching on a tree, and then. But that really overcomplicates things, and the way that Suraid recommended merging the two, where you have a lexical macro that has syntactical capabilities, that's pretty cool. So it says, I didn't come up with this. Donald Knuth came up with this. I just slightly amended it. It's the tech macro system. Yeah. I was inspired by LaTeX. Exactly. That includes you says, so to simplify badly, more AST focus as opposed to textual like C. Yeah, I'd say it's in between C and LaTeX. It's in between what? It's probably in between like Lisp level macros and LaTeX. Davros, compiler for what? Custom language, existing IR? It's a compiler for Intercept. It's an entire language that I just came up with it. I came up with it. I made it up. It looks like this. Here's greatest common denominator in Euclid's formula or algorithm. Here's an implementation of it. Due to bugs right now, we need to put that at the bottom. Beautiful. And then we can just compile that assembly or object file into an executable, and then get the greatest common denominator of 88 and 32, which is 8. And all of that requires some pretty nonsensical register allocation stuff. So let's take a look at it, huh? Ooh, look, it's a big one. So, if you don't know, register allocation is basically taking all the temporaries in a program and assigning them. They have to go somewhere, right? So we have to assign them a temporary hardware register, right? Somewhere for them to go. So, for example, we end up with this machine code, this MIR, machine IR, which is kind of in between IR and assembly. But you see it's very close to assembly. It's just a little higher level and keeps track of things like control flow. Davros says, oh, cool. Sorate says, in between Rust and LaTeX is how I described it. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you. Deju, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. That includes you says, interesting to think about providing a whole spectrum of macro type, though. The idea is that with the LaTeX system, you can kind of provide both. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited. Anyway, here you can see some code. This is MIR. So for x86-64, we have move and compare and move and setcc. But these aren't hardware registers. These are virtual registers. So we know that like we're going to move into v4, and then we're going to compare v4 with something. But we don't know like what v4, the actual register that v4 would be in. So to do that, we have to go, well, what register can v4 be in? Any register that is a general purpose register and doesn't interfere with another one. For example, v5 and v4, because they're used in the same instruction, first of all, that means that they interfere. They can't really be given the same hardware register because these are two separate temporaries that have two separate values we'd like to compare at the same time. They can't be the same value. Otherwise, these would be the same virtual register. So there's lots of complicated stuff, but basically we make this whole graph that has the adjacencies or interferences of the actual function. And sometimes there's none. You can kind of get away with just, yeah, assign pretty much anything, right? Just go through and give them register numbers. It's pretty easy. And other times it's not so easy because things interfere, which is a little bit of an issue. Looks like I'm printing out the wrong thing here too. It's a little worrying. For example, let's see if we can get somewhere. We're going through all these basic blocks, doing traversals, saying things are live at certain points. You can see you can have hardware registers live. It's a whole mess. Deciding what to spill to stack. I mean, that's part of the coloring, but yes, we don't even support spilling yet. Anyways, you can see for larger things, there are some interferences. For example, 22 interferes with, what is that, 25? And then in the list, you can see that the indices get mapped to actual registers here. So 22, in fact, has 23, 24, and 25 as an interference. And then these all refer to v14 through v17, which if we look at the actual program up above, somewhere in one of these blocks, we'll see it used. And somewhere we'll see the whole function. v14, for example, is here and then used here. So 15, 16, and 17 all defined, all have their definitions in between the last use of v14 and its definition, which means they all interfere because v15, v16, and v17 are all in between, and they can't be given the same register. Hopefully that makes sense. Years ago on the Xbox 360, I remember we were looking at compiler output, and I got the impression Microsoft compilers worked the other way, i.e. allocated locals on the stack first, then decided which they could cache, which they didn't do as successfully as GCC. That was before Clang. Okay. So it's a sort of, that is more or less how compilers do it. Everything is a stack variable, and then it tries to convert it to SSA values. Exactly. Everything's a local. And then you basically have the mem to reg pass, right? Ooh. But yeah, this is Intercept. It's a language I made up. I like it a lot. We're trying to get it actually usable. And I think macros are a large part of that because in code bases, macros are everywhere. And if they're not, you end up with code that looks like this. Right? That's kind of just how it goes. Even fall through is a macro. Even print, it's not a macro, but it takes advantage of macros for sure. Because VA list is a macro. Everything's a macro. Nashiora says, even me, I'm a local. Clang LLVM to me sort of assumes an infinite register file, and I figure then it's figuring out what to spill. During RA, yeah. That's what this V register idea is I'm seeing here reminds me more of. But when IR is first generated, everything starts out as a stack variable. Yep. Because this is only after like lowering into MIR, which is what you're looking at. During RA, this is all register allocation debug output. But if we actually look at the IR, you'll see that every variable is an allocate. The only things that are like their own instruction is an immediate, but even then there's nothing that says an immediate isn't on the stack. So most things are an allocate. But when IR is first generated, everything starts as a stack variable. You can see that code gen if you compile with -0. That's very true. Ba-da-da-bum-bum. Okay. But yeah, it's going well. It is going well. And then we just go through and create a number stack, which basically says, given all the virtual registers, we need to go through and assign a hardware register. So what we're going to do is basically stack up all these virtual registers to color in order in the sense that they won't interfere with each other because there are certain orderings that will work and some that won't. So we make one that will work. And then we just map it to the hardware register, and for every use, we then loop over and replace the use. And then you can see this block gets all of its things done. And then another thing that happens after RA is there's finalization and fix up. So after RA happens, you end up with like eliminating register to register moves. So there's no move R1, R1 in here or anything like that. And we get rid of a lot of the nonsense and fix up calls finally at this point to not have arguments, but actually do shadow stack nonsense for Windows calling conventions or anything really. Davros says, I got the impression compilers fell into two style depending on whether they started life on x86 or RISC. E.g. on classic x86, register caching is harder with so few, but also there's memreg ops. Conversely, on RISC, there's usually enough registers for all the locals, and you have this caller, callie saved idea on MIPS, etc. Default use callie saved registers, overspell equals start saving caller saved to use more, and using more than 30 odd locals is rare. Yeah, I would hope. I would hope. But you could be right. I'm sure the architecture you learn on does heavily influence the code you end up writing. But I don't know if that's more of a cause or rather just like a result of liking that type of stuff that caused you to go towards that architecture that emits those things, those ideas, those concepts. But yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Okay, let's make sure I didn't break everything, right? Oh, hold on. That's going to be a mess if all of them have RA debug output. x86 has no problems. It's totally perfect. Yeah, exactly. I keep forgetting about x64. That's all I know. Hodan Bloodkey, thank you for the follow. I'm just running the testing suite on object files as well here to say some stuff that needs work done. Like all this. Local pointers. Segfaulted. Let's do that one. That'll be fun. Da-da-da-dun. -T. It's going to be cough object on Windows, and we're going to do code.object. I should really have an object target that just automatically does it based on platform. I'll think about it. Tests. Local pointers. Well, it seemed to work. It compiles. Ooh, it's very not happy though. Yeah, we do segfault with a memory access denied error in the actual output program. That's no good. So let's take a look at object dump and the assembly that's generated. And can we do the same thing on the executable? So we're calling foo integer with no arguments because it has no arguments. We sub 16 off the stack. We move 69 onto the stack. We load the address that's on the stack. We then move the thing at the at the stack address that we haven't used yet into racks. Interesting. What's happening here? Something definitely bad has happened because we're using OX10 here, but that doesn't make sense. So we're going to look specifically now at the output for some stack weirdness. So let's look at the IR, just make sure that's fine. We call foo and then return the return value of foo. Okay. As far as foo goes, we have a stack allocation, an immediate 69. We store 69 into the stack allocation. We have a pointer on the stack, a pointer local, and then we store into 3 the value at, yeah, so we get the pointer from this allocate, the pointer to integer, the stack pointer, and then we move it into, so why did this store into not work? What does this store into get lowered? So it's even past lowering, it's still the same thing. Store into 3.1 void, okay. Copy R1 into V1, return V1. Yes, and then afterwards we have call, move. Yes, RA will eliminate all that nonsense. Well, it won't eliminate it. It'll just assign the same register because they don't interfere, and then it won't matter. Okay, what happened? This went wrong. We're moving from the stack into V5, but we're never, oh, here we go. Move V8 0 into stack 1. And V8 0 has been the Leah. Okay, so what happened here? Something horrible happened. We have Leah move. So we Leah into racks. We move racks into stack 1. This. Why is that not in there? And then we move the pointer into racks again, and then we move racks memory offset into, 8 bytes from racks into racks. 0 sized register assuming 64-bit. That's fine. We want that because it's an address. So what's going on here? Why did that not get omitted? -tr. So we have Leah move. Right? How many are there? We're supposed to have Leah move ret. That's all we got in foo. I guess there's something kind of missing here, which is the load of the immediate. That's kind of worrying. Where'd that go? I think that's just the terminal bug, isn't it? Yeah, that's right at the top of the screen. That's stupid terminal bug. Oh god, I've missed chat. I keep forgetting, I still perceive x86 as the same monster that hurt me in 1993 after my idyllic 68,000 childhood. Yeah, it's definitely not easy by any means. It's a mess. Yeah, so we have displacement and immediate. This is fine. So we Leah, but then we move into racks right away from another stack. But shouldn't we load into the stack first? Where's that instruction going? Am I crazy and I just didn't do that? Like, let's look at move. What kind of move is that going to be? We have move register into stack. So that would be move register local ref. This thing here, reg to mem local, in which case we do emit a move, in fact. So can we print like here and just check that it's actually there? It is actually supposed to be there. But it's doing this thing. What am I looking at wrong? I must be getting something wrong. Man, this missing stuff is really becoming an issue. It's kind of annoying. So this is after ISO. We Leah stack 0 into V8. We move V8 into stack 1. So move register to local. This is move. This is a register to local. So can I print like move like this, maybe? Start to local. Yeah, let's try it. And we're gonna have reg value reg. Hopefully that is what I'm remembering correctly, because I don't truthfully fully remember. Now Shiro says, don't accidentally resummon me by saying local so much. Okay. Alrighty, I'll think about it. I go game night, have good streamlins. You have fun, local, you have fun. Thank you so much for coming out. That was amazing. and I enjoyed it. Have fun game night. Bye-bye. It sent dev says, as a beginner programmer, reading your projects makes my brain start hurting. You'll get it. It's not too bad. Today, there are still people streaming 68,000 coding, Amiga 0. That's awesome. That is awesome. The value. Okay, so we are moving R1 into stack 1. But we're not actually getting anything? What's going on there? What is going on here? We have register to local, register to local. We have mcode reg to mem. How did we screw up mcode reg to mem? Because we're apparently moving something onto the stack. But it's not being emitted, apparently. At least according to object dump, it's not here. Because we should be storing racks into... Why are we not? There should be there's a Leah and then there's a register to stack move. It's here. There's a Leah and then there's a register to stack move. And then there's a move from the stack to the register. And then there's a register to register dereference. And we're getting most of those. We have the register to register dereference. We have the stack to register move, but we don't have the register to stack move. That's just gone. Here we have mcode reg to mem, in which case we have all the code that emits stuff. It's here. We have the mod.rm byte. We have, what am I missing, man? What am I missing? That's OX89. I see OX89 here. I don't see it anywhere here. Do I see it in here? No. Okay. Well, there's your answer. Somehow we're not emitting this. Which doesn't really make sense to me, because we're not even, like, checking. It's sent, Dev. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. So, why would this not be emitted? I'm really confused, in case you can't tell. That's an immediate to mem, too, so it's like... So maybe I can do something at the beginning of all of this, and say... print emitting my instruction. And then just print the MIR instruction. I guess it's that easy. Sure. Okay. We have emit move, and then we move right to the Leah, which is worrying. Why has that happened? Why has that happened, chat? That's a little worrying, I will say. Silaskin, thank you so much for the follow. Silaskin? I don't know how to say that. Be sure to join the Discord if it's your first time around here. We have tons of fun, and I really recommend it. Just like Franco Mojado, Valbus, and Brand has joined since. Welcome all, welcome all. Welcome all. Okay, can we say emitting offset, what the emit offset is? at offset bleh. And then the offset is going to be the context object code section. Code section, it's up at the top now. Data, bytes.size. That's just how many bytes there are in the code section so far. Nothing was emitted. This is not good. Why was nothing emitted? What have you done? Oh, I've done something so horrible. What have I done? Nothing's emitted. Okay. Okay, hold on. Instruction. What am I looking at? I'm looking for move. And within move, we have if, else if, else if, else if, else if. Okay. Immediate register. Immediate local. Register, register. Okay, there is a break at the end of this. Hold on, let me just make sure. Okay, there is a break at the end of this. And then there's an else. There's an else if, 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 else if. Okay, so it's one big if else statement. And then if operand kinds match register local, we say register is the first one, local is the second one. We ensure it's proper. We omit reg to mem context. And we even are here, like we printed stuff out here. How would this not omit anything, man? This is freaking me out. Here, okay, well, follow it down then. What's in reg to mem? Well, it's a switch on instruction, mx64 move. That is what we have. So then it'll be a switch on size. What's our size? Hold on, what's our size? Enum reg size is the third to last, so this thing. Oh, I just fixed it. Oh, God. I just made a commit about this too. It's literally right here. Zero-sized registers will be the bane of my existence. God. So here's the issue, chat. It's undefined behavior when you have a switch statement and the actual value doesn't exist in the switch statement. And because we don't have case 0 here, then that means the compiler just chooses to ignore it. Which means that none of this ever happens, which means that our size is 0, which means that that's just this common thing in this stupid right now. And the issue is that I shouldn't be using the register size. That shouldn't matter. I should be using the local size, the size of the thing we're storing into. It's not UB, it'll just skip it. Okay, then it's not UB, it just skips it. Is that in the standard? I didn't think that would be in the standard. And that's our reg size, so please cast it. I'm not going to be bothered to cast everything right now. There's so many conversion warnings, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, I swear, please. Okay, thank God. We've done it. Ugh. And presumably this now works. Hey, we got that 69, chat. That's the poggers. Isinin, thank you so much for the follow. We got that 69, chat. How pog is that? We like the 69, we like the 69. Yeah, don't look up scissors, apparently. It's NSFW. Yeah. Recyrillic 69 bog. Oh, that's that Pepe bog. Very nice Pepe bog. Very beautiful. Okay. Oh, that's not the Pepe Pog. That's the one I used for Poggers, isn't it? Yeah, this Poggers. I remember now. Okay. Well, we're now emitting it properly, so that's good. Let's run the tests again then. And then make a little commit to commit. Uh-oh. That's not good. Sarade, it happened again. What is this? Broken pipe. Logical CC test. So the broken pipe. So it says, okay, let me see. I don't know why this happens. So these didn't actually fail. They're fine. It's just... So I'm trying to remove the exe after we're done with it, and it says it's being used. Please don't tell me that system can return. So it says this only happens sometimes, I take it? Yeah, that's exactly it. It's in, it says file system is doing file system things. Yeah, that's probably what it is. But yes, this only happens sometimes. Ugh. Stupid. On Windows, you can't remove the exe if the program is still running. How would that work? The test runner can't do that. It's using system, which is supposed to wait, right? What are we doing? It's using system. So after we invoke the test, then we say, okay, please read the output. And then we do a whole bunch of other stuff until we finally get to actually removing the executable. Don't we? Yeah, we don't. We do it right after. Should we just wait? Are you saying we should just wait until later in the program? Is this like done? But then there's all these returns that we have to handle and also delete this from. It's such a mess. Yeah, don't delete that. Because every time we return, we also want it to delete there. We don't want to just have like, oh yeah, here's some extra file that just shows because your test failed. Like, Put it in a defer and implement defer using RAII. Ugh. Why? We really just need like a do this later macro or something. So fine. We're writing some C++. Delete file on scope exit. Sure. What do we need? What do we actually need? We need the file name. This can be a string. It's fine. And in fact, it can be a path. Yeah. And when we delete one of these bad boys, so it says 1 sec, I'll give you one. Oh no. It's okay. I'll write one in the meantime. That way I have something to do. Yeah. I don't even need a body, really. I can just do the something like this. It's in code review. Legendary, okay. How did I do? Ooh, Couch Potato, FSTQ. Thank you so much for joining the Discord. Great to have you in the community. Cat defer. Uh, okay. Oh dear. Yeah, this is basically what I just wrote, right? It's just a little fancier. It's basically what I just wrote, just kind of uses a callable instead of a callable template instead of just hard coding. Yummy C++. Yeah. So yummy. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Is there, what is dollar dollar? Is this just like a prefix? Can we make this anything? I'm curious. The dollar dollar because I don't want to use underscore underscore. Whatever, yeah. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm not gonna change it. I'm just wondering, like, can I change it, or is it inherent to like some very specific thing that's going on? If I can just like replace it, then I don't care. It's fine. Just don't call the struct defer because that's the macro. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So define defer. There's some weird spaces here. Just gonna get rid of those. Which is the concatenation of defer instance counter. Nice use of counter. Very, very beautiful. And then that just creates a defer modulo. Wait, what? Why? Oh, no. Have you overloaded modulo? What is happening here? You have overloaded modulo. Okay. So this modulo is an overload, which takes in a lambda. And then the lambda body is actually the braces that follow this macro. Okay, I'm figuring it out. Very beautiful solution. And if you don't know, this is like a standard, this is in so many C programs, it's crazy. To concatenate two things that may also be macros that need expanded, this is what you do. So it says that's the only way to capture an expression without parentheses. That's true. It's really, you use it really good across all of your macros, I will say. Okay, so now every time we remove a file, what would we like to do? So after intc invocation, we would like to defer the removing of the out path. Is that what this is? Why is it red? Just defer if file system exists path remove. Yeah, file system remove path. This is correct, right? Yeah, this is fine. And I think remove doesn't fail upon if the path doesn't exist. We can still check. I don't mind that. That's Lisp indenting. I don't like that. There we go. I do like Lisp indenting, just not in that case. Why is this not happy? We'll try that. This is fine. You need two semicolons, one before, one after. Okay. This makes more sense. Okay, so now, anytime we call remove on intc out path, delete generated output file. at end of scope. Sure. Can get rid of that here. Inc out path. We can get rid of that here. We have another one now. Because we have, we want to do the same thing. Also pretty pog for just sort to pop in with an entire new language feature like that. Here's a defer that works for anything you might want to do, ever. Pretty pog. And then after this, I can defer a very similar thing. What is this out path going to be? This is going to be the CC out path, which we already deferred. So what does the test actually create? The test doesn't create any file. Well, it does. It creates, what is it? The out path. Yeah, just out path, which is the actual standard out. So it says, I have this defer macro, some flavor of it in most of my C++ code bases. That and tempset. Tempset is pretty pog. Very neat macro though. Definitely going to reuse it in some projects. Oh, nice. Good to hear. But the latter is a bit more niche. Yeah, tempset isn't used as often for sure. I can see how that would stay true. Okay, now just look for any use of file system remove. It's now just the 3. Okay, well, the really hilarious thing would be if the test driver now doesn't compile. Oh, it worked. Presumably. Every test fails now. Serraid, it looks like it's working. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I do think it... Oh, it did work. It did work. Legendary. 29 tests failed. Isn't that more than before? What happened? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Ah, yes, I've broken things. How have I broken things? What has happened? Also in this, I left in the prints. The prints statements are kind of verbose. That thing. Okay, I'm gonna run those again, see what the hell happens. It's still happening, Serraid. It didn't fix it. It's still just completely broken. So test returned unexpected exit code. Terminate called after throwing an instance of blah, blah, blah. Cannot remove broken pipe exe. That's annoying. So that's the CC out path. Do I just need to like do, what do I need to do here? Let me just try the same thing I did down here. I know it's kind of sketch, but just dressed. Interesting. That may also just be a C test bug. I don't know. Oh, after all this, it's just a bug in C test. That does sound accurate. Oh, hold on. It's not here. These are actual bugs. Hold on. 27. I don't know what the correct number is anymore. I totally forgot, but ruh-roh. Expected 4910. So we're getting a literal one instead of the character one. That's a little odd. That's worrying. Definitely have to look at that. Oh, it's because imul isn't supported, presumably. Okay, that did fix it. So was it... Okay, so the int out path changes based per target, but the actual executable being created by a test may be the same if the test name was the same. So it really was just bad jujubes, bad file naming. Hey, what's up, Asen? And thank you for joining the Discord. Welcome to this beautiful community. Didn't you send me something about like this thing? This thing. Yes, this thing. Legendary. This thing. Create a unique file name. Auto file temp path. What is happening here? Is this a namespace declaration? I'm just going to call it temp path. And this is going to return standard file system path. No reason to go crazy. This uses lib format, which is slightly concerning. These are all strings. That's not a string. That's unfortunate. Said who says this looks ugly. Lamau. File is a struct and source. This is a static function in my compiler. Got you. Also, you're using ranges. Oh no. Oh no. What is this? I'm trying to call getpid, but that would only work on Linux. Why have you done such a thing? You've called something rand. And it says undefined template. So that's bad. And then yeah, standard format doesn't exist. So it says it's not supposed to be pretty. So it says because I don't use Windows. And you apparently don't care about anyone who does. Just remove the getpid part then, Lamau. And include thread. So it says no, I don't. It's clear. Remove. We got to add something to the rand, don't we? Seems kind of bare bones to just do nothing. We'll add the tid. Oh, that's a string. Just leave it as, yeah, I guess. That's where I'm at. Do you want me to write a Windows version that doesn't use lib format? I do. Why are you using, why? I don't see the reason. I don't. I'm just gonna remove PID. It's not supported. SN printf is enough, Lamau. That's probably what we'd have to end up using here. Well, I don't think this is gonna work. Because we just don't have format. And I don't want to write a bunch of code that just puts 4 strings together. I really don't. Because it's stupid paths. Oh, for goodness' sake, fine, give me a minute then. I don't know how to do it. I don't write this type of code, man. It'd be easier for me to just use counter at this point. Just standard two-string counter. How about this? It's an interesting it's an interesting possibility. I also know it won't work because counter will be the same every time. Don't worry about it. It would have to be a macro for counter to work, which isn't really that big of a deal. We'd have to use something. Well, what if we just get that random array? Why don't we just do that? I don't think we even need this stuff. We can do this. And just steal the string view type thing. And then re-enable the extension thing, where we can just do the sensible f plus equals dot f plus equals extension. How about it? Why is it mad? Can you not be mad like this? You can't just make an array? MSVC, why? Stupid Klangdy, stupid Klangdy. Will this even compile? It does compile. Well, we'll see what the hell happens then. I didn't use it yet. That would also be important if I wanted to do that properly. Rand is colliding with standard C rand, maybe. Possibly. I don't think it would because, again, this thing. And it's an error coming from the C++ place, template instantiation. So I don't think it would be a C issue, personally. Could be wrong. So this rand and this rand are the same. Random bytes. C. Wait, did you include array? I didn't. It should be included at some point. Otherwise, this wouldn't have compiled. Oh, it was that. It really just array wasn't included. Classic. But it compiled. Okay, we have some sort of thing now that does some sort of thing. Path. Int C out path. Yes. Something like so. Int C out path equals. Yeah. Hopefully we can get away with that. And the same thing here, but we don't even have to do a different extension. We can just say, please create me a thing equal to temp path with the extension of platform exe suffix. Which is just going to be exe now. And then we have another out path, which is going to be a txt file. And this is going to be txt. Alrighty. SNN says it was unused, compiler just skipped the function. Ah yes, a classic. Ooh, did I break all of them? It looks like I broke all of them. Yep, that's very good. It's going well. Ah yes, very good. Best test driver in the world. Virus and threat protection. Ah yes, good. Didn't go too well. Enquifbxt didn't quite work. Oh, it's returning the same thing. How beautiful. The same thing every time? No, just in multiple times. So that's great. So yeah, if you do it multiple times within the same second, everything breaks. So ideally we would be able to do that PID stuff. I've put an updated version in code review. You're a legend, Soraid. Why have you done this? You're very generous. RD? Ah, yes, the PID is now random. Classic. I also like all the, what is it? Includes right at the top, just so I don't screw it up even more than I already have. We have array, we don't have chrono, we don't have ranges. We have file system and we don't have random. Something like that. Dun dun dun. Okay, there's more. A classic. I think you forgot to include thread. QRSTUV. No? Maybe? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful stuff. Ooh, even with the fancy if not extension starts with. I like it. So it says, looks like I forgot a few type defs. Ah, it's all good. That stuff is completely fine. I just appreciate this at all. Because it would take me probably years to write this. Ah, yes, naturally. I wrote this in the same file that also contains the original function, so that's not too surprising. That's true. You did great. You did great. And it works. It works. I don't see any of those errors. And we didn't get any virus or threat protection errors from Windows, so that's also good. Lamau. Okay, we can update things now. What have we done? Oh yeah, pass the proper size. That's a big deal. So on x86-64 in the generic object file machine code backend, pass proper size, and moving a register into a local. We use the size of the local. Let's just print stuff. We have an iCell thing. x86-64 iCell, which is instruction selection, and we have added shift left in register to immediate form. What is this? Okay, this is all the test updating, and that's some examples. Okay, we'll update the examples. And any untracked files I'm forgetting? I don't think so. Those are all good. I really just got to make a new directory and just start there. Okay, we did it. Poggers. Tests. Update C++ test driver. Thanks to Saraid's most generous attitude, we now have defer and have completely refactored how we generate red safe file names. Also, since they are in temp directory, they will get deleted even if our program somehow doesn't delete them on reboot. Cool. Cool. Thank you, Saraid. Our test driver is so much better now. Doesn't include horrible string additions of like, let's add the target and the test file name and an extension and a number. It's all concrete now. I really like it. Thank you. The updated version also uses random instead of rand, which is what I used when I first threw this together. So now we have proper randomness too. That is legendary. It's crazy how bad most default random generators are. Okay, Pog. Local arrays. Why does that fail? Probably because we don't have multiplication going on. Well, it's time. I do have to go soon. If this is your first time here, be sure to join the Discord. If you have not already, it is a wonderful, wonderful group of people. There's lots of us in here, and we really appreciate, new members. We like to see what you're working on. We like to get it going. Isanin says, "Can I get the notifs roll, please?" Yep, you now have it. Welcome to the club. It's very exclusive. Oh, there's more stuff to read. Okay, mark on red. I want to come back to that. Poggers. Okay. Let's check out local arrays. Also, in the About section, the same place where you can find the Discord link, there's a donate link. If you leave a message with your username, I will read it and give you a shout out. So be sure to do that if that is your thing and you are feeling most generous today. Where are we at? What have we done? We want machine code of imol. Looks like that's why this isn't working. So if we go immediate to reg, okay. We just literally have no imol here. That's fine. And immediate to reg is kind of a hacky way of representing imol anyway, because IML is a little bit different than that as far as I know. IML. E, F, G, H. IML. Okay, so we want to multiply an immediate by a register and store it in the same register. So this is going to be ox6b/rib. Let's keep track of that. Okay, so case mx64 underscore. What did I just, oh God, I have the memory of a goldfish, I swear. This also uses standard random device to see it, which is a non-deterministic RNG if available. Ooh, poggers. That is pog. Switch on size. Immediate 8. Ooh, interesting. There is no... Interesting. It has to be R16, M16, so there is no immediate 8 version of this. So maybe we'll do kind of a thing here. Yeah, we'll just do this and say, so if size equals R8, then all we have to do is say size equals R16, right? It should be literally as simple as that. It's fine. So immediate 8, RM16. Really, this should be a warning or something. I'm just gonna print like, warning. What is it, 35 or something? And say, warning, IML of 8 byte register doesn't exist. Okay, hopefully we'll never see that. And then R8 we can say unreachable, and we can go up to R16. Yeah, I don't need these cases, this should be fine. R16, you'll notice, is the same as R32, but it's got an implicit register or operand size. So this is OX66 plus 6b/RIB, which is a mod RM byte with the register encoded in it, and then an immediate byte. And in fact, because this is just the same plus 1, all we have to do... Ooh, interesting. But if we're doing this one, it's different because of the immediate word. Because it's technically, it should be this one, because we're also treating the immediate as an immediate 16 now. This thing. Also, 69 pog. So we will just break here. And to do this, we should be able to use mcode 4, which is just emits 4 bytes into the machine code of this object file. And it's going to be the 16-byte prefix, or 16-bit prefix, the opcode, the mod RM, followed by the immediate word. Ooh, and the immediate word is actually 2 bytes, so it's going to be like this. Yeah. And then this should be size, which is 2. And then we can create an 16t immediate 16, which equals the cast of the immediate. Okay, now for mod RM, that's going to be 1 mod RM byte, which is an instruction encoding byte in x86 64, and it's going to contain the register that we would like to move this or multiply this register by, as far as I know. And then instruction encoding is RMI. So the operand 1 the destination goes in register of the mod rm. So this is going to be the destination reg bits. And then we're going to need those pretty much no matter what for this one. And reg bits is like the Intel encoding of registers and how they do that. So we can just use the destination register to get those. And then it seems like this will be the second operand goes in RM, yes. And this also is going to be the destination because we're doing a 2-address IML, which is really a 3-address instruction. Numeration values, yeah. So there's that. And that should be it as far as the assembly of that instruction goes. So hopefully we'll never see that famous last words. It's true. So this is going to be an immediate double word, 69 ID, in which case we want an immediate 32. And we want the same thing but with no OX66. And we want 4 bytes from the immediate. And there's something, both of these are missing actually, which I'm going to do now, which is if the top bit is set in the destination reg bits, then we're going to have to actually emit a rex byte to properly encode the 4th bit, the top bit of this destination. And we don't want to promote anything, so the W bit won't be set. The R bit is an extension of RM as far as I am concerned, so this is going to be reg bits top, destination reg bits, and then because they're both the same, they're actually both going to be the same thing, and then we just omit that in this case. We need to do that here as well. And that changes for everything else, because for 64-bit, we need the rex.w prefix, as you can see, in which case it's still a 32-bit immediate, but now it's 64-bit registers, in which case we always need the rex, so we can include it in the machine code as such always, and we do want to promote the operation to 64-bit. And there's our little thing. Okie doke. IML should now have an immediate to reg form totally supported. Ah, beautiful. It worked. Do we have IML? We do have IML. And we have IML by 8 RCX, which looks exactly like what we want. Beautiful. So does this work? Oh, poggers, 69. Okay, let's run C-test. Now that we have multiplication. Expected Amit Consector got Insectator. That's not great. Something to do with subscripts. Retro. So just to be clear, quad word register R64 is equal to RM64 times immediate double word. Yeah, so it's just this times this is equal to that. Hey, that makes like 8 tests pass apparently. Oh, poggers, soding pog. QR Botman, Mr. Anderson 0x, Tar83, Greenborn, no format. Thank you so much for the follows. I really appreciate it. And we did it. We now, yep, just this top hunk. And we can commit to this. And then I'm going to have to go because it is getting late. I thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the very end so you get updates on what's happening next. G-object IML in immediate to reg form. Beautiful stuff. We have merged the gigantic PR. We no longer have thousands of lines of code in a single PR waiting to merge. It's all part of this beautiful code base, which has grown over 1,000 commits just in the past few months. It's so beautiful to see. PRs are welcome if you see a change, if you want to do something. Be sure to be active. Talk with us in the Discord, message us and say, hey, what can I do? Or hey, I'm working on this. Let me know if you want it to be merged. Stuff like that. We'd love that. So be sure to do it. And yeah, there's a lot of docs that have been added recently. For example, the compilation overview. So if you're into compilers and want to look over, get like a 10-page refresher on how Intercept works, then this is a great place to do that because it has the whole, basically top-down look of the compiler. So be sure to check it out. My commits are always, I don't know, some bug fixes, cleanup, and new features, and it's like 2,000 lines. Oh god. Mr. Mugume says 1,000 commits? Yep. We have 1,147 commits. It's coming up on Lenser OS, which I think is like 1,500 now. Yep, it's literally 1,500. Add new bugs, fix some features. Exactly. Be sure to check this code out on GitHub, fork it yourself, build it. It's a ton of fun. I really recommend it. And just being able to see all this stuff work and get it working is so awesome. But yeah, be sure to check it out. Other than that, if you like this type of thing, be sure to go to youtube.com/@lensr/lenser. And then all you have to do is subscribe and you will never miss a VOD from any of my streams ever. So be sure to do that. Check out the About section for links to the Discord to join this. I really recommend it. We have a bunch of lovely members. I really like everybody here, and it's a wonderful community that I would love to have you be a part of. So do it. Atran says, hi, Matran. Is this bootstrap? It is not bootstrapped. This compiler is going to stay written in C, but we are going to write compilers in Intercept at some point. Just not necessarily for Intercept. And again, if that's something you want to do, that's totally cool. Fork the project. It has the MIT license. Ooh, Saint Ignatius. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. A trend says, you're like, this guy is an idiot. No, not at all. Asking if a hobby compiler is self-hosted or bootstrapped is pretty common. Sorry to ignore what he said. This is the bootstrapping compiler, yes. You can tell there may be some internal debate on how to proceed. Saint Ignatius says, greetings. I'm so good to have you. I love your name. I'm just about to stop streaming, but we had a wonderful time. We now implement imul. We can multiply things in 2-address. But we also want to eventually support 3-address imul, which means a new function. Oh. But yeah, so we now can emit the machine code for everything, and it's going well. Oh yeah, in the About section with the Discord link, you will also find a link to donate. I would really appreciate if anyone can do that you would, but only if you have the extra money. I don't want to steal your money. You use your money for what you need. But if you want to leave a silly little message with your username, I'll give you a shout out and read it on stream. So yeah, that's a thing that's possible. Anywho, the biggest thing is just join the Discord. We would love to have you. It's an awesome community, and we do a lot of stuff around here. Oh, I have so much to do. I keep switching here. So much to read. I'm so excited. I want to listen to that guitar pedal too. The guitar riff. Oh, so much to do. But yeah, if you're interested in this type of thing, stick around, hit that follow button. Be sure to join the Discord. Subscribe on the YouTube if you don't want to catch things live all the time or can't, but want to catch these streams. And there's announcements every time I go live on the Discord. In case you weren't convinced already, I make an announcement. I ping notifs every time I go live, so you'll never miss a stream if you're a part of the Discord. I really recommend it. Anywho, that's kind of all I got. This has been part 57 of the compiler. And yeah, I'm excited for part 58 when we get even more done. I want to work on macros soon. I want to work on macros. I want to work on modules. I want to work on unions. I want to work on anonymous structs. I want to work on a lot of things, and I'm so excited to do it all. I want to move the default. This is a big one. I want to move the default variable instantiation type at the top level to local instead of static. So for example, right now, if you define an integer here, this is a static integer, but I feel like this should just be local because this can just be a local in the main function. There's really no need to be a global or static because being a global or static really affects performance a large part. So by having everything local by default in every scenario will improve performance a lot. And then having like a static keyword or a static type keyword kind of thing that goes here, or just a declaration attribute wherever those may end up. So yeah, I don't know, something to think about. That is something I want to change very soon going forward. So be sure to stay tuned for 58, 59, 60. We're gonna have a ton of fun. Hit that follow button. Hit that. Hit all the buttons that you would like to hit. I really would appreciate it. My Loudy says, "Yo, I need that. I need that notice roll." Yeah, you got it. You got it. Where are you at, Melody? I've seen you. You don't exist. There you are. Here you go. Welcome to the group. Greenborn says, have a good evening. Thank you, thank you. Greenborn brings me back all my university memories. We wrote there an own compiler for a made-up language and implemented a VM in C back for x86. Ooh, that's really cool. An x86 virtual machine is quite extensive. Andrew Gravsky, thank you so much for the follow. Melody, oh no, the stream is ending. Cool, thanks. Yes, of course. It's so good to have you, Melody. I am glad that you were able to get that in. Anyway, I am, super late as usual. So I've had so much fun today. I would not want to do anything else. This has been part 57 of making a compiler from scratch for fun in C with no dependencies. And it's going well. We merged a Gigantosaurus PR, so that's good. Even larger than a Serrade PR, believe it or not. Believe it or not. All right. Thank you all. Be sure to hit those links I told you to hit, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.